Ladies and gentlemen, the academic procession of the inauguration of the 12th President of Eastern Kentucky University is about to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chief Marshal for today's ceremonies, Dr. Jana Weiss, Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs. And EKU international students carrying the flags of their respective home countries. Special guests from the Eastern Kentucky University Foundation Board. The City of Richmond. Madison County. And the Commonwealth of Kentucky. The presidents, chancellors, and other representatives of colleges, universities, learned societies, and associations across the United States. The Eastern Kentucky University Foundation professors, and the EKU faculty representatives. the Eastern Kentucky University Academic Deans, Principal Institutional Officers, and staff representatives. President Emeritus Dr. Charles Douglas Whitlock. The Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents. Kentucky University Mace, carried by the Chair of the Faculty Senate, Dr. Richard Day. will the audience please remain standing for the entrance of the presidential party? The chair of the Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents, Mr. Craig Turner. Justice John S. Minton, Jr., Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court. And Dr. Michael Taft Benson. Please remain standing. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Eastern Kentucky University. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Eastern Kentucky University ROTC's Pershing Rifles. The Star-Spangled Banner, as performed by Model Laboratory School student Parker Hastings. And My Old Kentucky Home, as performed by members of the Benson family and the university singers under the direction of Dr. Richard Waters.
Mark time. March. Forward. Hold. Right. Face. Ready. Post. Present. Colors. Carry. Colors. Ready. Post. Forward. March. Forward. Hold. Ready. Post. Colors. march.
The sun shines bright on the old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks play on the little cabin floor, all happy, all merry and bright. By and by hard times comes a-knocking at the door, then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady, oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated. Dr. Patrick Naramali will now deliver the invocation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Shall we bow for the invocation? Almighty, the everlasting being, our heart is full of gratitude as we gather today for the formal inauguration of the 12th President of Eastern Kentucky University, Dr. Michael T. Benson. We want to thank you for providing us not just a president, but a leader with vision, dedication, and commitment to take Eastern Kentucky University to new heights. We know he can't do it alone. He needs all of us. Bless him and his family. Bless Eastern Kentucky University. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage Mr. Craig Turner of Lexington, a 1975 graduate of Eastern Kentucky University and chair of the university's Board of Regents.
Well, good afternoon. I guess I'm the first to say that the Von Trapp family doesn't have anything on the Benson family. Well, welcome to Eastern Kentucky University and to the inauguration of Dr. Michael T. Benson as our university's 12th president. We're delighted that you've joined us for this historic occasion as we celebrate the rich traditions of Eastern Kentucky University, the many accomplishments of our students, our faculty, our staff, our alumni, and the selection of Dr. Benson. Throughout our storied history, strong and effective leadership has been critical to our growth, achievements, and successes. Today, we find ourselves navigating the turbulent waters of academic and urban change. This is an important moment in the life of Eastern Kentucky University. Our destiny is in our hands. To quote a famous architect, Buckminster Fuller, he said, "The best way to predict the future is to design it." Now it's my honor, I'd like to recognize some of our special guests. So please stand as I call your name, and please hold your applause until I've introduced all of our guests. First, our members of the Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents, some who will bring some greetings a little later in the program. Mr. Ernest House, Vice Chair of the Board. Nancy Collins. Alan Long. Janie Miller. David Tandy. Holly Wiedemann. Amy Thiem, our faculty representative. Brian McKinnon, our staff representative. And Kyle Nicholas, our student representative. Thank you, Regents. Also joining us are the following honored guests. Again, please hold your applause until I have finished. State Senator Jared Carpenter, State Representative Rita Smart, State Representative Jonathan Schell, the Honorable John D. Minton, Jr., Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court, 6th District Congressman Andy Barr, State Senator and President of the Senate Robert Stivers, State Representative and Speaker of the House Greg Stumbo, Madison County Judge Executive Kent Clark, Richmond Mayor Jim Barnes, Mr. Dan Flanagan, a member of the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, Dr. Aaron Thompson, Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer of the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, President Bob Davies, President of Murray State University, President Gary Ransdale, President of Western Kentucky University. Thank you for joining us today. Well, last but most certainly not least, I'm deeply honored to meet someone who I have great high esteem for, and I'd like to recognize President Benson's wife, Debbie, their children, and the other members of the Benson family. At this time, I'd like to introduce Mr. Brian Makinen. He's a 1999 and 2006 graduate of Eastern Kentucky University. He's now serving his alma mater as the Director of Environmental Health, Safety, Risk Management, and Insurance, and he is our staff regent to the board. Mr. Makinen will be bringing greetings on behalf of the university's more than 2,000 staff members. Mr. Makinen.
Good afternoon and welcome. It is my honor to present the charge from the staff to President Benson in making no little plans. Being a new president affords the opportunity to instill change in fulfilling the mission of the university. President Benson, as you lead us through this turning point in Eastern's history, we ask that you shape us and mold us into an industry-leading institution, upholding all of us to the highest standards. Share your vision with us as we can change the landscape and continue to weave the maroon and white tapestry. Henry Ford stated that, "Coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success." We ask for your leadership in unifying the campus community and breaking down barriers so that we will collectively be successful. You will find that we are filled with ideas and are fueled by boundless energy. The staff desires leadership, involvement, engagement and active communication, and recognition of our value. We desire to be, invested in so that we can build a stronger staff able to tackle any challenge in order to enrich and transform the lives of our students. Once this investment is made, please acknowledge our contribution and help establish the framework for us to grow within our respective fields of practice and foster a sense of pride, not only in ourselves, but in EKU. As John Maxwell stated, everything rises and falls on leadership. Your tone and your decisions will impact our community. Make Eastern an authentic, prestigious university, but make it one where the people are well-informed, valued, and invested. Because in the end, it's about the character of the people whose lives are shaped from their journeys here. We encourage you to expand your capabilities and influences to continue to make this a great place to work. Because, President Benson, we don't want you to be a good president. We want to support you in being the best president. It is truly a great time to be a colonel. Thank you.
Dr. Amy Thiem, Associate Professor of Communication and Faculty Representative to the Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents, will bring greetings on behalf of the university's more than 1,100 faculty members.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the faculty, I am honored to officially welcome Dr. Michael Benson as Eastern Kentucky University's 12th president. Over the last year, Dr. Benson has brought renewed energy, enthusiasm, and vitality to this campus and its surrounding community. In his first year, no one has worked harder throughout the state to establish partnerships, build connections, and elevate what it means to be an EKU Colonel. Go Colonels has become a rallying cry of renewed vitality. President Benson, this is exactly the energy this campus has been seeking, and we are proud to call you and your family Colonels. However, while this renewed vitality is important, we must not forget the mission of this university, which is to prepare students to lead productive, responsible, and enriched lives. In order to accomplish this mission, we must continue to uphold the core values that guide our actions in the pursuit of teaching, service, and scholarly research. Therefore, President Benson, as you lead our great institution, we charge you with upholding these core values and holding all within its doors accountable to doing the same. We must continue to encourage civic engagement and civility. We must also continue to embrace and celebrate the diversity of all people. We must foster an atmosphere of intellectual curiosity, innovation, and creativity. We must always remember that education is a right due all citizens and should be available to all who seek it. We must remain committed to the principles of shared governance and collaboration. And we must never, never forget that our most valuable commodity is our students and their success. So, President Benson, thank you for your commitment to leading us forward with renewed energy and pride. Thank you for embracing Eastern and the Colonel spirit, and may your years at EKU be fruitful. And I'm sure you will hear this throughout the evening, that it's a good time to be a Colonel. Thank you and congratulations.
Mr. Kyle Nicholas, Student Government Association President and the Student Representative to the Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents, will bring greetings on behalf of the university's 16,000 students.
In the past year, we have seen a period of immense growth here at Eastern Kentucky University. We have invested in our facilities, programs, and people. Our statistics of enrollment, retention, and graduation have all increased across the board. As it's been stated throughout the night, simply put, it's a great time to be an EKU Colonel. This time of change and growth is undoubtedly due to the man we all joined here to celebrate tonight. President Michael Benson has certainly proved to each of us his unending dedication and bold vision for the future of Eastern Kentucky University. He has fought for funding in Frankfort at a time that cuts are being made in the way of higher education. He has blazed the path for the second phase of the new science building, the multi-purpose facility at Roy Kidd Stadium, projects along Lancaster, and countless other improvements to the campus beautiful. To President Benson, and on behalf of the Eastern Kentucky University student body, I wish to congratulate you on these accomplishments and on your inauguration tonight. We look forward to your tenure here and the bright future that lies ahead for all of us. And we ask that you continue to work for the betterment of Eastern and all she has to offer. Invest in our most valuable assets, the people that comprise this campus community. Keep our education accessible to our service region and bring value to the diploma that our graduates receive. I have full and unrelenting faith in your vision for Eastern, and I'm proud to be a student here at such a great time. I hope you have a long and healthy career here at Eastern and continue to work for the betterment of EKU. Welcome, President Benson, to the Colonel family.
Mr. Glenn Ragland of Birmingham, Alabama, a 1980 graduate and president of the Eastern Kentucky University International Alumni Association, will bring greetings on behalf of the university's more than 135,000 graduates.
Good afternoon, friends of Eastern Kentucky University. I'm honored to share this occasion with you on the inauguration of Eastern's 12th president, Dr. Michael T. Benson. When the search committee sent me the biographical sketch of all the finalists, I knew then that Dr. Benson was the right man for the job. The first thing that you know about Dr. Benson is his charismatic personality. It sets him apart from ordinary men. He has an exemplary skill set, and his track record for fundraising makes him the right man for the job. He's brought an attitude of excitement to the Campus Beautiful and an energy level that is unmatched. There are no challenges that are too great for him. They are just opportunities in disguise. The gift to the Alumni Association to remodel the Hall of Distinguished Alumni shows that he leads by example. And he and his wife, Debbie, have established an endowment scholarship for students in the 22 county service area. Again, setting the example. His passion is for students and their success. When successful, well-educated students graduate and become alumni, they are able to give back to the next generation of students. Dr. Benson makes no small plans, and his big plans need benefactors. So it's my hope that the alumni of this great institution that we all love will assist his program with generous donations. In closing, my charge to the alumni is to support the president as he executes his capital fundraising plan to enhance the programs and scholarships here at Eastern. Make no small plans. Go alumni, go Benson, go Colonels.
Mr. Ernest House of London, Kentucky, a 1978 Eastern Kentucky University graduate and Vice Chair of the EKU Board of Regents, will bring greetings on behalf of the board.
Good afternoon. What an opportunity and privilege we have today to examine our history and reflect on the historical foundation that brought us to this moment. The Board of Regents of Eastern Kentucky University is here to offer its unified and unanimous support to Dr. Michael Benson and to look together with excitement, optimism, and hope to our future. The inauguration of any president is a historic moment in the life of a university, but the inauguration of Dr. Benson is also an affirmation of the vision of all those leaders who came before him with a shared mission of academic excellence and student success. From its inception more than 100 years ago, Eastern has been a school of opportunity inspired by its visionary leaders. Eastern has educated men and women not only from our designated service region encompassing 22 counties in central and southeastern Kentucky, but from all 120 counties of our state. Eastern has educated students from all 50 states as well as many foreign countries. Truly, the contribution and influence of Eastern Kentucky University reaches around our world. As a member of the Presidential Search Committee, I can assure you that we did our due diligence in seeking nominations and selected a president who will carry us into the future with a passion for learning and higher education, the success of our students, the development of our faculty, and for providing the best possible living and learning environment for our students. Today, higher education in America faces unprecedented challenges. College costs continue to escalate. Questions abound about the value of investing in what we have to offer. Access and affordability are on the minds of students and families, as well as our elected representatives in Frankfort. At Eastern Kentucky University, we have long prided ourselves in rigorously evaluating how we plan our future, serve our students, support our faculty and employees, and live out our mission. Going forward, our work requires the president to maintain that rigor and focus. We must explore innovative solutions and communicate to all of our audiences with wisdom and strength. We are fortunate to have chosen a leader who has the skill and talent to face the challenges ahead. In Dr. Benson, we have chosen a leader whose intimate knowledge and love of higher education and profound commitment to moving Eastern forward will serve us well for many years to come. I join today's other speakers in sharing our aspirations and our collective endorsement and enthusiasm for Dr. Benson as the university's new leader. And on behalf of the board, I join in the challenge to him to lead us forward into new and uncharted frontiers, where we will build upon our unshakable foundation of academic excellence, educating men and women to serve both Kentucky and the world. Thank you for joining in this celebration of our history and of our common quest to define and create a wonderful future together, ably guided by our remarkable new president, Michael Taft Benson. Thank you.
Dr. Aaron Thompson, a 1979 graduate of Eastern Kentucky University, longtime member of our faculty, and currently Executive Vice President and Chief Academic Officer for the Kentucky Council on Post-Secondary Education, will bring greetings on behalf of the Council.
Good afternoon. The inauguration of a new president is a very special time in the life of an institution and the leader that is chosen to lead her. It is a deep tradition within academia, and President Benson, I am honored to be here to celebrate this day with you in my alma mater. Many of you who are in the audience have deep ties with EKU, and like me, you love her and you want to see her thrive. President Benson, we welcome you here at Eastern's 12th permanent president, and these events around this inauguration is our way of showing you the excitement that you and your family are a part of our EKU family. In addition, this is a time for the faculty, staff, students, alumni, the Richmond community, and all of us who are connected with EKU to renew our commitment to assist you in guiding her to newer heights. President Benson, today you will be charged and commissioned to uphold the values and core principles of Eastern Kentucky University. You're indeed charged with leading this university to serve the citizens of Kentucky through the preparation of students to be active and educated participants in the growth of our state and this society as a whole. The Council on Post-Secondary Education and I will be here to assist you in this grand endeavor. May your tenure as president be guided, positive, progressive, strategic, blessed, and time-enduring. May you also receive encouragement and inspiration from all sources to lead and to serve us as our 12th president. My best to you, my best to EKU, and congratulations, Dr. Benson.
Natalie Millington will now perform Baroque Flamenco on harp. The Honorable Jim Barnes, Mayor of the City of Richmond, will bring greetings on behalf of the city's more than 31,000 citizens.
I probably scared some people thinking I was going to play the harp a while ago, so my wife can calm down now. It's quite an honor to be able to represent the city of Richmond on this event. You know, opportunity in life doesn't come too often. And when it does come, you better take advantage of it. That's really where success heads for. President Benson brings us that opportunity. This university and the city of Richmond needs to take advantage of that opportunity. He brings freshness to us. He brings excitement. Today I was going to wear tennis shoes to just try to keep up with him, but I figured maybe that wasn't appropriate. But we're excited about President Benson and Debbie and their family here. You know, there's a cliche that says, if the shoe fits, wear it. Trust me, the Bensons fit this community. They have blended in as if they've been living here for 20 years. And I consider it an honor and a friend to be able to be with President Benson and just try to take in some of the enthusiasm that he has brought, not only to the university, by the way, but to our community. Everyone talks to him about his enthusiasm, his vision. Our challenge is to get on board with him, and not only will he take this university to higher limits, he's going to bring Richmond with him. So I am to congratulate the Board of Regents for choosing President Benson for the president of Eastern Kentucky University. Go Colonels.
The Honorable Kent Clark, Madison County Judge Executive, will bring greetings on behalf of the county's more than 82,000 citizens.
It's 87,000. Seriously, it's a real honor for me to have the opportunity to come up and say just a few words on this very special day. I've been county judge for 21 years, and I have seen a tremendous amount of change. You all from Madison County have seen that also. I've had the privilege of serving with 4 presidents of EKU. This is my 3rd event that I've been able to say a few words about. And I have to truly say from the heart that it's different. There's change in the air. It's excitement. I think if you talk to the faculty, the staff, the students, anybody involved with the campus, that they're excited. They're excited about President Benson. Drive through the campus for the last 6 or 8 months. If you'll drive through once a week, you'll see something has changed. Something's been improved every week, and that's a wonderful sign. Little short story here. I was involved with Representative Marberly and Senator Worley on the Business and Technology Center financially, also the Center for the Arts financially, the county, and I was involved a little bit on the first phase of the science building, but not financially. It was too much. And when Senator Worley decided to retire and Representative Marberly decided to follow his lead, I sat around and thought, and I talked to a whole lot of people, and I said, damn, we won't get the second phase of the science building for 10 years. President Benson rolls into town. He sits down with David McFadden, his right hand. They sit down with our legislators, especially Representative Smart and Senator Carpenter. They include some of our retired legislators, And, you know, they just broke ground on the second phase of the science building yesterday. That's pretty special. I've been in politics 30 years, and I've never seen anything like that happen. I have 4 children that go to Model Lab School. Yes, the same Model Lab School that was built in 1960. The same Model Lab School that doesn't have air conditioning in the gym, and all 3 of the kids play basketball. But you know, something really special, that President Benson came over to Model and talked to the parents, and he outlined what exactly he wanted to do. The science building was the first priority, but Model Lab School and a new education system was second. You know, and people were excited, just like they are on campus. People have hope now, and I truly believe, and I can say this from the heart, that I feel like President Benson, in 5 years, will be breaking ground on a new education center and Model Lab School. It's an exciting time for everybody, and it's not just on campus, it's not just at Model Lab, it's in Richmond, it's in Madison County, it's in counties surrounding Madison County. It's a wonderful time to live here. It's a wonderful time to be a student, be on staff, be on faculty. We're all excited. So, Mr. Benson, President, I think I've used my 2 minutes. So I'd like to take this time on behalf of the whole county to welcome you and Debbie and your whole family to the greatest place, the greatest county in the whole world. Thank you very much.
The Honorable Greg Stumbo of Prestonsburg, who represents the 95th District in the Kentucky House of Representatives and serves as Speaker of the House, will bring greetings on behalf of the Kentucky House of Representatives.
Well, good afternoon. Judge Clark, I didn't know that Dr. Benson and Debbie were going to reside in Floyd County while he was president here. On behalf of the 100 members, the men and women of the Kentucky House of Representatives, we wish you the best, Dr. Benson, in your new charge. I know that my colleagues would have wanted me to be bipartisan today in my remarks, and so I'll start with a quote from one of my favorite American presidents, Ronald Reagan, who said, "It's amazing what you can accomplish when you don't care who gets the credit." And I know that you come here with great acclaim, with great support. And the charge that you have to shape the lives and the minds of these young people is awe-inspiring. I think that they have chosen well, and I wish you the best. I hope that you teach them courage, vision, and self-esteem. And I would end by saying a quote of another one of my favorite presidents, John Kennedy, who said that one man can make a difference, and every man should try. I hope you'll teach your students to share their accomplishments and the credit that goes with them with others, and to dream and to try. Dr. Benson, Debbie, on behalf of the 100 men and women of the Kentucky House of Representatives, welcome to your new Kentucky home.
The Honorable Robert Stivers of Manchester, who represents the 25th District in the Kentucky Senate and serves as that body's president, and for whom EKU's Manchester campus facility is named, will bring greetings on behalf of the Kentucky Senate.
It's an honor to be here today, and I have to start with this. I've always thought there was a little confusion down in the House of Representatives because Speaker Stumbo, I thought he was going to live in Manchester. It's an honor to be here today among so many distinguished guests as we celebrate the inauguration of Eastern Kentucky University's newest president, Dr. Michael Benson. Dr. Benson, as president, you're expected to direct Eastern Kentucky University to set policies and tone not only for now, but for decades and generations to come. Faculty, students, parents, and yes, us legislators will look to you as president for leadership and guidance and they will look to you for answers. Trust me when I say, president to president, when things are going well, you won't always get the accolades. And when they are getting bad, they will definitely look to you and turn to you for accountability. So today, Dr. Benson, accountability is the charge I deal with. Constituents, taxpayers, and in your case, tuition-paying students and parents want accountability. They want to know their investment will return dividends, that the resources they have expended money-wise, time-wise, and otherwise equal a job for the college graduate, a job that allows them to become a contributing member of society, a job that allows them to be independent, and a job that marks the beginning of a meaningful career. Getting your four-year degree and saying to a potential employer, I've got my college degree and that should be enough, is quite simply not enough. We compete in a global market that is increasingly more specialized and competitive. Kentucky's higher education institutes must be flexible and more than enough. They must recognize that the marketplace needs, and they must provide bang for the tuition bucks. They must be accountable. Dr. Benson is a leader with accountability. He has said to many colleges, they offer programs that are redundant, and therefore EKU must distinguish itself, stand above the crowd, and create its own niche. Eastern Kentucky University already was known nationally as a place for our veterans to receive a college degree, as a teaching institution, and world renowned for its justice and safety programs. And most recently, it was recognized and it created its own niche by becoming the go-to aviation program in this country. That's being accountable. Today I was asked to give Dr. Benson his charge or mission as one president to another. President Michael Benson, I charge you to continue to hold Eastern Kentucky University accountable. The charge is that Eastern Kentucky University graduates be able to say to their employers that EKU gave them not just enough, but more than enough. And by doing so, it enables that graduate to compete, live, and to contribute in today's world. There's someone that was very important and is very important to me in my life. And years ago, they gave me a similar charge. That person was my mother. As many of you are, she was an educator. She graduated from Harvard with a master's in public health, which was a huge achievement for anyone, but was more impressive for a woman in the early 40s. Fresh out of school, she left her home in Massachusetts, drove to Eastern Kentucky University, a trip that took 3 long days. And she arrived in Oneida, Kentucky at Oneida Baptist Institute and the Oneida Hospital. And she put her degree to real work, fighting poverty through nutrition and education. Mom lived by a very simple motto, which I heard often. Take your little piece of the world and do your best to make it better. If we all did that, what a wonderful world it would be. And that, Dr. Benson, is accountability in a Harvard mom's terms. We are glad to welcome you and your family to Kentucky and to EKU, and we know you being here will make this part of our world a much better place. Thank you.
The Honorable Andy Barr of Lexington, who represents the 6th District in the U.S. Congress, will bring greetings on behalf of Congress.
Good evening. I'm honored to join you today to congratulate Dr. Michael Benson on his inauguration as the new president of Eastern Kentucky University. Over the past year, Dr. Benson has brought new energy, vision, and engagement to the President's office that benefits not only this special institution, but also this community as well. Enrollment is rising. The university's world-class aviation program is poised to double its size over the next few years. Just yesterday, we broke ground on the Phase 2 expansion of the Science Center that will house new facilities for biological sciences and geology. The university is expanding student housing and athletics facilities. EKU is on the move. Like all of you, I have had the privilege of getting to know Dr. Benson during the last year and a half. I was so impressed that he proactively reached out to me to develop a relationship. And when we sat down for the first time, we shared a mutual love of history. And he even invited me to co-teach an honors political science seminar last spring, an experience I greatly enjoyed. I am proud of the fact that several EKU students, including some from that seminar, have become interns in my office. I truly appreciate Dr. Benson's friendship, because that's what it was. It was him reaching out not just for a professional relationship, but to build a friendship. And so today, we are not just inaugurating a new president of Eastern Kentucky University. We are welcoming Michael, Debbie, and his family as members of our community. Dr. Benson importantly recognizes that EKU must have a great relationship with the community in which it resides, and he has made it a priority to be an engaged citizen of this Commonwealth. But the quality that I have discerned, and which I most admire about President Benson, is his relentless optimism and irrepressible faith in the future for this university. For Michael Benson, there is a respect for the past here, but there is also no limit to what this place can become. There are no artificial barriers that hold us back. There is no dream too big, no aspiration too high, no future that EKU cannot define for itself. And that is exactly why the future at EKU is so bright. Michael Benson, welcome, thank you, and good luck.
Please direct your attention now to the video screen for a presentation on the history of presidential leadership at Eastern Kentucky University.
His tenure, ended by his premature death in 1909, was the shortest of any Eastern president. But Dr. Rural Neville Roark, as our founding president, left lasting marks on this institution. One of the great architects of the normal school movement in the Commonwealth, Dr. Roark began here a commitment to quality teacher education that we still seek zealously to preserve.
Mary Roark was a PhD. If this had not been a time during our history when women had not even won the right to vote, I have no doubt that the regents would have made her acting presidency a permanent one.
Dr. John Grant Crabb was deeply devoted to teacher education. Our library was his greatest love, and today bears his name as testimony of his service to it and to our institution. Dr. Thomas Jackson Coates became Eastern's third president in 1916, and his was the first of 4 long-term tenures, which provided a continuity of leadership of great benefit to the development of this university. It was during his administration that Eastern became a state teachers college, in addition to its normal school function, and began to offer 4-year degrees. By the time Dr. Herman Lee Donovan became Eastern's 4th president in 1928, The institution had become more complex and necessitated the first organization of the departmental structure into divisions of instruction. It was under his leadership that Eastern offered its first graduate level degrees in 1935, and the words normal school were officially dropped from the institution's name. William Francis O'Donnell became the 5th president of Eastern in 1941, beginning a 19-year tenure, the longest of any Eastern chief executive. It was during his term of office that the institution began to move in the direction of multiplicity of purpose. In 1948, Teachers was removed from the college's name, and Eastern Kentucky State College offered its first non-teaching degrees.
Our students must find here an intellectually demanding college experience as well as opportunities for social development. We must expand our facilities in order that we may take care of, in an adequate way, our reasonable portion of the young Kentuckians and young Americans who will knock on these doors of foreign missions.
We must subject to careful scrutiny our organizational patterns, our educational offerings, our service and support areas, so that administrators, faculty, and staff, together we can develop the long and short-range plans for this university necessary for the coming years.
We have worked very hard to maintain and improve the quality of teaching faculty on this campus and on the extended campus. We have improved your classrooms and laboratories, enhanced and expanded library resources, and have put millions of dollars into the technology infrastructure of this campus.
The ability of EKU to compete in the new marketplace, attract students who are academically fit for study, and graduate those students with bright prospects for jobs and careers, it depends not only on teaching. It depends on a system of student services characterized by excellence.
Our history and our tradition is a proud and rich one. We have played a key role in the life of Kentucky, and especially this region, throughout the 20th century. For EKU, the best is yet to come.
Bob Martin, J.C. Powell, Haley Funderburk, Bob Custer, and Joanne Glasser, I work with very closely. And each of them left a mark on me that I hope served me well in my 6 years as president. I would like to be remembered as a guy who answered a call when the university needed me and left it, I hope, better than I found it.
There is a lot expected of me. There is no better feeling than fulfilling that expectation, or even exceeding it. So you have my pledge today that nobody is going to outwork me, and we are going to achieve some great things at Eastern Kentucky University. Thank you very, very much.
We will now proceed with the investiture ceremony for Dr. Michael Taft Benson, Dr. Benson's wife, Debbie Benson, Chairman Turner, and President Emeritus Charles Douglas Whitlock will assist.
Following and protecting tradition is important. There are two symbols of Eastern Kentucky University that we will now bestow upon Dr. Benson, both befitting the high office and the noble calling. One is the academic gown, which represents the presidential authority. The other is the chain of office worn by Eastern Kentucky University's president. The chain symbolizes the continuity and the strength in leadership during her long and rich history, with each link of the chain bearing the name of the previous president. There is now a new link attached to this great seal of Eastern Kentucky University with the name of Michael T. Benson. Dr. Benson and Debbie, would you please come forward? Now, by the virtue of the authority of the Eastern Kentucky University Board of Regents, I commit to you, Dr. Michael Taft Benson, the presidential robe displaying the authority of the office. President Emeritus Charles Douglas Whitlock will now present the EKU Presidential Medallion with the seal of the university. Congratulations, Dr. Benson.
The Honorable John D. Minton, Jr., Chief Justice of the Kentucky Supreme Court, will now administer the constitutional oath of office to Dr. Benson.
Benson, are you prepared to take the constitutional oath?
Yes, sir, I am.
Raise your right hand to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky, so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of President of Eastern Kentucky University according to law? And do you further solemnly swear that since the adoption of the present Constitution, you being a citizen of this state, have not fought a duel with deadly weapons within this state nor out of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you very much.
Please welcome now Dr. Brad Cook, Provost at Southern Utah University.
Good afternoon. It's a tremendous privilege and honor to have been asked to introduce President Benson on this occasion. But today, rather than introducing you to President Benson or Dr. Benson or even Professor Benson, I want to introduce you to Mike, my friend. And so rather than speaking about what Mike does or what he's accomplished, but I want to speak about who he is. I first met Mike when he was just finishing up his degree at Oxford, and I was just beginning mine there. It turned out that my selected college, St. Anthony's College, was his college too. I was interested in studying Middle Eastern history, his chosen topic as well. He came from a long line of pioneer stock who settled the Utah territories, and I shared in that heritage too. And over the years, those similarities and shared interests grew into a friendship that I consider a great and rare gift. So let me tell you a few things about my friend. Mike has a generosity of spirit that is quite extraordinary, and relationships matter to him. What I came to appreciate and understand very quickly about Mike is that he is all about relationships. He is about people, young and old, big or small, gay or straight, Republican, Democrat, Mormon, Catholic, atheist, or Jew. He cares about all of us. He has a remarkable capacity to create a sense of connectedness with nearly everyone he meets. No detail is ever too small for him to remember, no interaction too insignificant not to produce or elicit a thank you note. He listens with empathy and presence. And one characteristic that makes him so likable, so relatable, is that he is confident enough, strong enough to be vulnerable. He loves family. He loves elevated and ennobling ideas. He loves being a part of the education and transformation of young people. And that love, that passion, often elicits strong emotions from him, emotions that are difficult to contain and are sometimes very close to the surface. Mike is also what the author Liz Wiseman calls a multiplier, as opposed to a diminisher. That is to say that he finds ways to enhance, magnify, expand upon good ideas and others' talents, and not diminish, suppress, drain, or marginalize. He authentically rejoices in others' successes. He is a cheerleader. He takes genuine pleasure in others' joy and is invested in their successes. He is energetic, and he is hopeful. I like to think of him as the optimist's optimist. He never believes that he can't do things. It's just not part of his landscape. He has what in Star Trek terms is called a healthy reality distortion field. That is the phenomenon in which a person's persuasive skills and persistence makes other people believe in the possibility of achieving very difficult tasks. He never believes that he can't do anything. He doesn't see the world in terms of can'ts, but cans, not of walls, but doors. Think about his own life. Want to be a scratch golfer? Do it. Want to play college basketball? Do it. Want to pick up and move to England and study at Oxford? Do it. Want to write a book? Do it. Want to be a university president? Do it. 3 times. Whether it's about reaching an almost unthinkable capital campaign goal, achieving an ambitious enrollment target, beating a top-ranked opponent, or simply seeing the forest from the trees when mired in the muck of campus and state politics or budget, Mike will find a way to find that silver lining, that half-full glass, that bright side. He will find a way to win. That's what champions do, you know. They find a way. And I'll tell you this, never, ever bet against Mike Benson. Lastly, Mike is a great man. But he is a great man because he's a good man, an honorable man, a generous man, a compassionate man. Decent friends sometimes are fairly easy to come by, but a great friend, a truly like-minded, like-hearted person with whom you share a special alchemy, that is a rare gift. The glory of friendship, wrote Ralph Waldo Emerson, is not the outstretched hand, not the kindly smile, not the joy of companionship. It is the inspiration that comes to one when you discover that someone else believes in you and is willing to trust you with a friendship. And in this, I count myself blessed to have found such a friend. Thank you, Mike. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my friend and Eastern Kentucky University's 12th president, Michael Taft Benson.
Thanks, Eddie. That was really nice. Thank you. Thank you so very much. Brad, I don't know when it will happen, but will you please speak at my funeral? Although you may think you are at my funeral, I have to tell you, I'm going to go off script for just 1 second here. My kids have been living with this inauguration talk for quite some time, so I came home yesterday to a good luck card from Miss Taylor's first grade class at Model Lab School. And it says, it's dated October the 22nd. Dear President Benson, we thought you may be nervous about your big speech on Friday. Here is a list of calming ideas for you. And this is for you all too. Tell yourself this will be fast. Cross your fingers. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and my favorite, imagine everyone in a moose costume. Thank you very much, Tatum, and thank you, Ms. Taylor. To Chief Justice Minton, Speaker Stumbo, President Stivers, Congressman Barr, other elected officials, and many distinguished guests. To Chair Turner, Vice Chair House, and the members of the Board of Regents, to President Emeritus Whitlock and Joanne, to our faculty, staff, students, and friends, and to my family, thank you so much for this singular honor. And thank you for helping us celebrate this Maroon Letter Day for Eastern Kentucky University. People have been much, much too kind throughout this program, and now I recognize that the honeymoon has officially ended. But it's been one heck of a ride, so thank you very much. Thank you to all who have participated in the program thus far. I especially requested that our international students carrying the flags of their respective homelands be the first into the hall this afternoon. Eastern Kentucky University may be a name which describes where we are, but it does not define nor limit who we are. We are a vibrant global community with a commitment to diversity in all forms, as we strive to create a welcoming and nurturing place for everyone. My sincere gratitude to all who have made this week-long celebration of EKU possible. It has been stimulating and exciting. We purposefully scheduled events to coincide with homecoming and focused on elements within our core mission: service to the Commonwealth, service to our region and community, scholarship, cultural activities, student involvement, and athletics. My hope is that the 6-1 Colonels cap off the events tomorrow at Roy Kidd Stadium by getting back on track and defeating Southeast Missouri. While inaugurations are inherently focused on the individual being sworn in, they are much more than that. They are a marker in the historical arc of a university. For all of us gathered here today, we honor an institution which is much larger than any one of us and will be here well beyond any of our tenures. This day is a celebration for Eastern and for all who have come to love and esteem her, just as the Bensons have in a short period of time. Thanks to all our friends and family who have traveled great distances to be here today. I would also like to thank representatives from 2 groups, the 3 universities where I had the good fortune to study and earn degrees: Brigham Young, the University of Oxford, and the University of Notre Dame, as well as the 3 other higher education institutions where I spent my professional career before coming to Richmond: the University of Utah, Snow College, and Southern Utah University. From each of these places, I learned valuable lessons, established relationships which have positively impacted me, and came to love the unique traditions and practices of each place. I am a product of these experiences and friendships, and extend my thanks to all those representing these 6 schools. I am sorry that my parents could not be here today. My father, Mark, loved education and instilled in each of his 6 children that same love. He insisted on reading the weekly student paper of each school where I have worked, and even attended every graduation ceremony during my tenure at SUU. My mother, Leela, just turned 83 and cannot travel. Her love of music, inculcated in each of us, has been passed down to the next generation of Bensons, as evidenced today. This quote from America's greatest president, Abraham Lincoln, captures perfectly my feelings toward my mom. All that I am or hope to be, I owe to my angel mother. To Debbie and our children, you make life worth it, and I'm so pleased to have all of you here. Debbie is the perfect companion and my best friend. She's also the kindest and most loving person I have ever known. Debbie has done well by her great-great-grandfathers, Jefferson Hunt and Joseph Gaddy, both of whom were born in the bluegrass, by demonstrating her own hardy Kentucky DNA in establishing our home here in Kentucky. To my kids, thanks for keeping your dad grounded and constantly reminded of what really matters in life. When driving the kids to the Model Lab School a few weeks ago, Truman asked why I could not attend one of his activities that night, given a prior commitment I had made on campus. He asked me point blank, "Dad, why do you have to be the president?" Since that is all he has known his entire 7 years on this planet. I explained that my job is what provided for our family and allowed us many opportunities to enjoy activities together. Tatum's explanation of my role was much simpler and direct. "Dad is president," she said, "so we don't have to wait in line." Debbie and I are trying our best to raise kids devoid of any sense of privilege or expectation, but Tatum's honest observation that day underscored what really matters to little kids in big crowds. I can promise the 3 T's, however, that whatever juice Dad may have in Richmond, it will be completely lost on the folks who run the lines at Disney World. This will be abundantly clear in a few weeks when we head there before we watch the football Colonels take on the Florida Gators in the swamp. Our children realize that they are compelled to share their mom and dad with many others. I was approached the other day by someone who wanted to discuss an issue on campus with me in the checkout line at Meijer. On the way out of the store, Talmadge admonished me that I should quit talking to strangers. On the way home, this same 4-year-old told me that the banners outside of Roy Kidd Stadium were, and I quote, "a nice added touch, Dad." Thanks to my in-laws, Buzz and Ann Woods, for being here, as well as other members of my extended family. Between Debbie's substantial family and my prodigious Benson posterity, we embody this little-known tenet in the Mormon Church. Put simply, if we cannot convert you with the ubiquitous missionaries one sees all over the world, we will try our level best to outpopulate you. Talmadge was grandchild 34 for my mom and dad, so yes, we are prolific. I also acknowledge my colleagues with whom I collaborate from other institutions and thank them for their friendship and support. In a relatively small geographic area, Kentuckians enjoy a broad array of higher education institutions, large and small, public and private. Each of these schools adds to the fabric and vibrancy of our Commonwealth and improves the quality of life for each of us within our respective communities. I would also like to extend a special thanks to my administrative team, the President's Council, who are both wonderful colleagues and great friends. I also acknowledge and thank our Dean's Council and other administrative and faculty leaders on campus. And to the 2 people charged with keeping me in line and on schedule, Lisa and Deidre, a huge Colonel shout out. I appreciate that these great EKU employees care more about results than they do about getting pats on the back. And President Reagan was quoting Harry Truman when he said, "It is amazing what you can accomplish if you do not care who gets the credit." And finally, I want to thank the EKU Board of Regents, a dedicated and diverse group of individuals with a broad array of experience, all of whom care deeply about our university. This group has accomplished several significant firsts in the past few months, including moving its quarterly meetings to areas all around campus and the Commonwealth, and even this past Monday holding its meeting in our service area in Hazard. They have become even more open and accessible to all those interested in learning how they reach their decisions and why. They are dedicated public servants, and our institution is blessed by their commitment. In the few moments I have remaining this afternoon, I hope I might share some ideas on where we intend to take EKU in the coming months and years, and which areas merit the most attention and our greatest focus. We will certainly build on all the good which has been put into place by so many. Eastern Kentucky University in the year 2014 is the cumulative efforts of numberless people and projects. Many have given much to Eastern. Consider this. Our students entrust us with their dreams and aspirations. Our local and state governments invest resources in our institutional mission. Our faculty and staff give us the best years of their professional lives and careers in hopes that we might help them achieve their goals. Our donors and alumni give us their perpetual support with the belief that the essential Eastern will be further preserved and enhanced. And what do we give back? My charge for us today is to give back tenfold and more. It is to make all those who voluntarily give to Eastern even more proud of their investment and more secure in the decision that they have made. We must be more bold, and we will. We must be more innovative, and we will. We must do better, and we will. This past August, I challenged our faculty and staff to live lives of consequence and to leave a mark for good. I renew this charge today. While preparing for this event, Charles Hay came by my office one day to deliver a copy of a talk entitled A Vision of Greatness. It was delivered in November 1960 by a man who cast a long shadow on this campus, both literally and figuratively, Dr. Robert R. Martin. I was struck by the prescience of his remarks, by the elegance of his prose, and by the audacity of his vision. I would like to borrow a few words he used to end his speech 54 years ago. They also happen to be my favorite biblical passage, Isaiah chapter 40, verse 32. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. It is my faith in God and in the future and destiny of this institution which helps steel me for the challenges ahead and the opportunities which abound. As inspiration for this week's activities, we have borrowed the immortal words of one of America's truly great figures of the 19th and 20th centuries, Daniel H. Burnham. Renowned architect, shaper of public policy, crafter of city planning, dreamer of big dreams, Burnham was all this and much, much more. It has been said of Burnham that his greatest influence may not have been what he built, but what he imagined. His ability to fire the souls of curiosity of others was unmatched, as was his ability to ask, why not? For all of us gathered today, consider this mandate from Mr. Burnham as if he stood here delivering it directly to each of us. Make no little plans. They have no magic to stir men's blood, and probably themselves will not be realized. Make big plans. Aim high in hope and work, remembering that a noble, logical diagram, once recorded, will never die. But long after we are gone, it will be a living thing, asserting itself with ever-growing insistency. Remember that our sons and our grandsons are going to do things that would stagger us. Let your watchword be order and your beacon beauty. Think big. As president of a dynamic, living, and breathing institution, I recognize that people often take their cues from the chief executive. If there's anything that has marked my tenure at EKU thus far, I sincerely hope it is a palpable can-do attitude which imbues everything we undertake. At his 2005 inauguration at the University of Notre Dame, Father John Jenkins admonished the Irish faithful with this charge: let no one ever again say that we dream too small. Unfortunately, too often in higher education, we become accustomed to saying that things cannot be done, or this or that cannot be tried. I say that we cannot afford to remain static, nor do we have the luxury of being anything but bold and audacious. All around us are examples of what happens to organizations, corporations, or even nations which choose to remain motionless and visionless. Conversely, those which have elected to be intrepid and innovative have, in some instances, eclipsed us. But those days are over, and we boldly declare, just as one sees in a vehicle's rearview mirror, we are Eastern Kentucky University, we are on the move, and we are closer than we may appear. Again, from the 1960 speech of President Martin, Eastern has had a great heritage. Eastern is today a great institution, but neither the Eastern of the past nor the Eastern of the present will be adequate to the demands of the future. I believe the essential ingredients to the current and future success of our university are the 3 Ps, and I conclude with this: people, places, and programs. First, people. To the students of EKU, you are the reason we are here. This event is not because we like to parade around in robes and look like, as a colleague once described, medieval pizza chefs. Universities exist first and foremost for students. We are proud of you. We care about you. We are here to serve you, and we will do all we can to help you succeed. I once heard a wise grandmother respond to the question as to how she succeeded in raising a remarkable posterity which numbered over 50 children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Her simple response was this: I always looked for the chance to say yes in any given circumstance, to provide an opportunity instead of a hindrance. We would do well to follow this advice. This is not to suggest that we ignore policies, nor do we allow ourselves to be taken advantage of or used. Rather, we consider every possible way to say yes to opportunities for our students, to do all we can to help them succeed. And we will do the same for our faculty and our staff. This will certainly mean, to be sure, additional resources. But the responsibility to secure these resources falls primarily to the Board of Regents, to our administrative team, our leadership team, and to me. We are charged with providing the tools to all of our employees that will enable them to be successful, and in turn to provide to our students every opportunity for success. The true measure of an institution is not in the kind of student it takes in, but by the kind of graduate it sends out. To my fellow employees, you are the most important asset that we have at EKU. You are the lifeblood of this institution. We appreciate all that you do on behalf of our students. We will continue to pursue both policies and practice which award your service and value your role within the university. What you do on a daily basis matters, and your work changes people's lives. Second, places. This place is known as the Campus Beautiful. We are blessed to work in stately and historic buildings that are cleaned and maintained by dedicated employees who take enormous pride in their work. But some of our structures are also showing the signs of age and incessant wear and tear. As has been mentioned, just yesterday we broke ground on Phase 2 of the largest and most expensive structure in the history of EKU. This 340,000 square foot science center, once it is completed and occupied in 32 months or so, will be the envy of all the Commonwealth. There will be nothing like it anywhere. I would like to thank all of those elected representatives who helped us secure the state funding for the structure, including Governor Beshear, our local state officials, Representative Atkins, Speaker Stumbo, and President Stivers. We will prove to you that this investment was incredibly sound by the impact it has on our campus and on our Commonwealth. But this stunning new facility is among buildings that continue to show their age, structures in desperate need of renovation. We can and are addressing these needs with an aggressive campus renewal plan. We continue our efforts to improve the curb appeal of EKU, to present ourselves in the best possible light and the most positive manner. The addition of the Karloftis Garden along Lancaster Avenue and the creation of new campus entry points will do much to improve the look and feel of EKU. But more importantly, our staff and faculty deserve to work and teach in spaces which enhance the teaching and learning process. We will address our acute physical plant issues, but we'd also ask your patience as we grapple with how much we can do and with what resources. But this will be a top priority for this administration. The taxpayers of Kentucky, through our elected representatives, have devoted enormous sums of money to our campus. And not only here in Richmond, but also in Manchester, in Danville, in Corbin, and Somerset. I am struck by many things as I navigate the campus beautiful. One is by the beauty of the setting in which we have the privilege to work and associate. But I am also struck by how, in some places, our campus is somewhat unfriendly to pedestrians and cyclists. The flow of our students, faculty, and staff is shuttled through parking lots and across dangerous streets. We plan to revise and improve our campus navigation master plan and will actively solicit input from a wide spectrum of opinions as to how to do so. We state our institutional commitment to making our campus even safer, easier to navigate, and more functional and beautiful. And third, programs. It is becoming common knowledge to people all over the world that we do some things exceptionally well. We will do them even better. There are other areas where we need marked improvement. Some programs may need to be reconsidered while others are given additional resources. Or, based on demands within the job market, we may need to add additional programs. Regardless of what happens with our programs, we will never waver from our core mission: to produce graduates who are culturally competent, socially aware, and intellectually curious. We can do no better than to prepare our students to think logically and communicate clearly, regardless of discipline or chosen field of study. And we will continue to emphasize as our primary goal access to education for all of those in our service region and beyond. EKU provides the primary portal to a better life through the transformative power of education. We will never, ever deviate from this fundamental duty. Part of our overall improvement plan relative to programs is to better communicate the great things happening on campus and the many contributions being made by our faculty, staff, and students. I invite you to follow the various social media we are and will employ. Stay tuned for EKU Stories, an entirely new platform to share what members of our university family are doing to make a difference in the lives of people all around us. In conclusion, to those who have invested in Eastern Kentucky University, I say unequivocally, you should expect more from us, and we will deliver. I believe that it is an honor and a privilege to work in higher education and at a place like EKU. Let us not take this opportunity for granted. Ours is a window of time, and we must take advantage of it. Let us leave here today with a renewed commitment to do right by all those who built buildings, established programs, planted trees, endowed scholarships, changed lives, and invested sweat equity in this place, knowing full well that their investment would not be realized or enjoyed in their lifetimes, but by those who follow. Let us be the trailblazers of the 21st century. And let us always remember this challenge from Scott Cohen, the president of Tulane University, who oversaw his institution's emergence from the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. He once said, "No one will ever remember what you did for yourself, but what you did for others." I close by returning to where I began, November 1960. Just a few days before Dr. Martin painted his vision of greatness, a most significant event happened in the history of our nation. A young and in many ways untested Roman Catholic New Englander was elected President of the United States. A few short weeks after Dr. Martin's address on this campus, John F. Kennedy stood under the eastern portico of the U.S. Capitol in the bitter January cold and offered a charge to his fellow Americans. Please allow me to evoke both the text and the tenor of his immortal words as we apply them to all of us here today. Ask not what Eastern can do for you. Ask what you can do for Eastern. We can and we must ask more of ourselves. We must be all in for Eastern. Adherence to the status quo and complacency are not options. Attention to detail, excellence in all that is asked of us, increased pride in how we present ourselves and the product we produce, this and much, much more can and should be expected from all of us who love Eastern. Though uttered over 23 years ago, the words of Aristotle can serve to inspire us even today. Excellence is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. May each of us commit to choose excellence for EKU as we march together toward her glorious destiny. And may God bless the colonels of Eastern Kentucky University. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and turn to page 5 of your program and join the university singers in the singing of the Eastern Kentucky University alma mater, and then remain standing for the benediction as delivered by the Reverend Mary Lou Stevens.
Please bow with me as I deliver this benediction. Gracious God, as we have come to this time and place and have celebrated, and as we now prepare to leave this place with hope and inspiration in our hearts, we give you thanks for our new president and our new friend, Mike Benson, and his family. We give you thanks that his enthusiasm and hope are contagious, and they extend and expand to those who serve as faculty, staff, and to students and the Richmond community. So now, O God, we would ask that you would bless him as he continues to lead us forward, for there are no small plans for the future of Eastern Kentucky University. May you be with him as challenges arise, that he may be inspired. Be with him as change comes, that he may be a man of vision. Be with him as he maintains the core values with integrity that will lead us forward as an institution of higher learning and transformation of lives through education. So now, O God, we give you thanks as we leave this place, as we are filled with hope and enthusiasm ourselves. Go with us, O God, back out into that world that needs to know that there are no small plans, only big ones. In your name we pray. Amen.
You may be seated. Now we have a special treat. Just keep your eyes on the video screen. You might just see someone you know.
It might seem crazy what I'm about
Please rise. After the presidential party has recessed to music performed by the EKU Symphony Orchestra, conducted by Dr. Jeremy Mulholland, President Benson invites you to join him and his family for a reception in the lobby. Thank you for your attendance today.